Stop waiting around and do it now. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You know, that thing you said you would start doing 2 years ago? Well, it hasn't happened yet, and time passed anyways. That thing you said would take 2 years to make? Well, guess what? That could have been done by now, but you made excuses. It's time to lock in, dude. Think about your life and where you'd be if you had just stuck to your word and said what you were going to do 2 years ago. You know? I'm saying this to you because this is what I said to myself. 2 years ago, I said I would start making YouTube videos and streaming consistently. And guess what happened? Neither of those. I hadn't really thought about it, but god damn, it really has been 2 years. I was inspired to make this video because the new year is literally right around the corner. That's kind of insane, to be completely honest. I feel like this year has absolutely flown by, especially since the summer. And I know a lot of you might be saying, man, you know what? I'll do it in the new year. But guess what? Fun fact, you ain't gonna do it. So instead of waiting, let's start now. In this video, I'm gonna be going through a few ways that have helped me and a lot of the people that I work with personally start locking in on their goals and allow them to be more successful than just saying, I'm gonna do this, X, Y, Z. And we're going to get real specific, and hopefully these can help you too. So I got a lot of firsthand experience on New Year's resolutioners. I am a personal trainer, so every single new year I see insane amounts of people in the gym. Obviously, I'm not opposed to this because I think everybody should be in the gym, but I see it time and time again within 2 or 3 weeks. All of the regulars are still there, and all the people that came in within the first week are gone. You might get like 1 or 2 stragglers, but to be completely honest, most of the people that I see that are new from January 1st on don't stick around. The new year always feels like the perfect time to get into a new routine, but the sad truth is, according to the Baylor Institute of Medicine, almost 88% of people will abandon their New Year's resolutions before the end of January. That's insane. Like, think about that for a second. 88% chance that you will not stick with what you say you're going to do when you start a New Year's resolution. On top of that, only about 8 to 9% of people will have actually made and stuck with the change by the end of the year. Those statistics aren't to discourage you, but they're to kind of paint the realistic picture that if you just go into the New Year's resolution that you're creating for yourself with really no plan, there's a very high chance you will not stick with it. If you want to make a change in your life and turn it around, the time for change is not in a month. It's right now, man. Like, you're running out of time. You've waited and waited and waited. Stop waiting. Waiting another month isn't going to change anything. Waiting the next few weeks is just going to feed into your habit of waiting to do things. So starting now, make a plan and start before the new year. I'm saying this like it's a bad thing to start in the new year, and realistically, it's not that big of a deal, but you've been waiting long enough, so waiting these next few weeks, it's not really going to benefit you that much. And mainly why things haven't happened yet either is because you've been waiting a year or more to do what you're saying you're going to do in the new year now. And would you look at that? It's the end of the year again. And you might be thinking to yourself, man, my goal that I want to achieve, it's kind of intimidating. I don't really want to go all in right now. I need to figure out what I need to do to get there. Well, that's where I'm going to tell you, use this next month to start making minor changes. Without the small steps forward, you're never going to get to that big goal that you want to get to. If you're trying to climb a mountain, you can't just take one massive step and get there. Start making the tiny steps, and eventually over time, they'll add up to the thing you want the most, which is your end goal. Whether your goal is a side hustle, losing weight, etc., force yourself to be uncomfortable and start your journey now. Stop waiting. So tip number 1, find your why. What is your why? Use this next month to really think deeply. Ideally, it doesn't take you a month, but use the next month if you need to think about your why. Why do you want to do what you want to do? Really try and have a connection deep within you. The more meaningful your why is, the greater chance that whatever you want to do will stick. I'm going to use a personal example. So I want to start posting 2 YouTube videos every single week and be consistent with making content. Why? Well, I potentially want some more financial freedom in my future. Okay, but why? I don't want to have to worry about only having one source of income. Okay, but why? Okay, well, I want to invest into my future, the stock market, etc., as much as possible. Okay, but why? Well, I want to be able to give the best life possible to my family. And then there's my deepest why. I want to be able to provide for my family and not have to worry about money. Having a personal, deep connection to my goals is what's going to help me push through the hard times when I lack motivation and don't want to keep going. This kind of exercise is something you can easily do yourself to get to the real root of why you want to do something and get really vulnerable with yourself. And please be truthful, because once you find your why, be sure to write it down so that when you start feeling lazy and you don't really want to do it, you can pull your why up and see what you're putting at stake by not doing your task or what you need to be doing. For me, for example, let's say I don't want to edit a video, or I don't want to record, or I don't want to write a script. I can think back to my why of being financially independent, supporting my family, not having to worry about money. And then, you know what? I'm probably going to push through and just do it anyways because I want that. I want that more than anything. And to be honest too, this is kind of a nice creative outlet and a good way to just share my thoughts. It's almost like a journal, right? But I'm making videos instead. Tip number 2, set SMART goals. So if you've never heard of a SMART goal is basically you set a specific goal you can measure that is attainable, realistic, and it has a timeline. So when it comes to the specific part of the SMART goal layout, this means you're getting really specific with what you want your goal to be. So instead of saying, I want to lose 10 pounds, it's, I want to lose 10 pounds by October 10th, 2026. That is a very specific goal with a deadline. And honestly, I would say that's pretty attainable. Attainable and realistic are kind of the same thing, but as you can see in what I just said, there is a timeline and there's a specific amount, and that is basically a SMART goal in its simplest form. So for me, it's I want to upload 8 videos a month. So if I only upload 1 video 1 week, that just means the next week I got to upload 3, or I got to upload 4 if I don't upload for 2 weeks kind of thing, right? Because it keeps me with a specific amount by a specific time. It's every single month, 8 videos, that kind of thing. When you create your SMART goal, do your best not to change the goal you set, as this may allow you to get lazy again and start pushing off the things you need to do in order to reach your goals. So let's say your goal is to lose 10 pounds in 6 months. Doable, might require a little bit more dedication on your part, but it's very doable. Let's say you're 1 or 2 months in and you're already behind schedule. Try and push yourself to be better to achieve that 10 pounds in the time frame you set. Because if you just go, I'm not going to reach it anyways, maybe I'll just do 5 pounds. Then you're going to eventually go down and down and down and down, and then you're not going to lose any of the weight. So do your best to try and stick with the timeline and the goal you set, because worst case scenario, you lose the 8 pounds instead of 10. But either way, you're still closer to where you want to be than you were when you started your journey. Let's say you want to lose 50 pounds, right? That is a massive goal and it might be super intimidating. The easiest way to break this up and make it more manageable mentally is break up that 50 into smaller increments. So let's say you want to lose 50 pounds in 50 months, just to make it easy. From this point, you would lose 1 pound a month. Or more realistic, I want to lose 12 pounds by the end of the next year. Use 1 pound a month. If you're on track to lose 1 pound a month, that's pretty doable and more mentally attainable than a whole 12 pounds. Because 12 is a lot if you want to do that in a shorter period of time. Over a year, it's not that bad. But anyways, break that goal up into smaller micro goals that make it easier for you to hit, right? Because then again, you only have to hit 1 pound 12 times. Let's say you hit 1 pound 3 months in a row, you're 3 out of 12, and now you only have 9 left, right? So you're breaking that bigger goal up into smaller goals, and then eventually that bigger goal isn't so big anymore. Oh, and the last thing too is try not to make these goals too easy. If you make it like, I want to lose 2 pounds in a year, it's not going to push you to make real drastic changes to your life. So like yeah, it's fine, but honestly, the more challenging the goal, the better, again, within that attainable and realistic standard. Tip number 3 is be organized. Create a schedule, a list, anything the night before, the week of all the things you want to prioritize for that next day or for that week. I'm starting to do this not only to see what free time I have during the day, but also kind of puts it into perspective that I have a lot of time that I kind of just watch YouTube and do nothing. So it shows me areas of my day or my week that I can improve on, actually doing things that will benefit my life and working on stuff that I actually want to improve in. At least for me, it makes me feel like I have more control of what's going on and that life isn't kind of just passing me by or happening to me. I'm actually making an effort to make the most out of each day, which kind of makes me feel like I'm making the most out of life now. Last tip here is to have a support system. If you don't have a support system in place, try to find a friend, a family member, someone at work that you are really close with, anybody that can kind of help you stick to that goal and almost be a reminder if you forget. So let's say you ask this person to check in once a week, like, hey, did you do the things you said you were going to do this week? If the answer is yes, then great. If the answer is no, then this person can kind of help you get back mentally into the state where you want to do what you said you were going to do. If the person or group are kind of working towards the same goal you are, then it might help as well to kind of bounce ideas off of them and see what they're doing to help themselves stay on track if you're starting to fall off. Just know that progress is not linear, so if you start to dip in your progress or start to wane from your motivation, that's normal. Just don't let that bog you down too much, and then start to really dig deep and dig yourself back out of that hole that you're kind of falling into but haven't fallen quite into yet. Having that support system too can also take some of the mental strain off of what you're doing. Like if you're having a tough week or you just need to talk it out with someone to maybe bounce ideas off, it will help so much with just your mental clarity and your ability to think straight. Kind of personal example for me, clients that I don't see all the time, I'll text them once on, let's say Wednesday, hey, have you gotten your 2 workouts in so far this week? And if they haven't, then it's kind of a, okay, let's get the last 2 in. Or if they have, then it's kind of a check-in of, okay, make sure you get the next 2 in, and how did the first 2 go? So yeah, those are my 4 main tips that I have that I put into practice with myself and with the people I work with that I have seen work, and science also backs up with increasing results. Honestly, life is too short, man. You get one body, one life, and one real chance to make everything worth it. So stop waiting for the perfect moment. The perfect moment's never going to come. I learned this long time ago, and now I'm really just screw it, man. Like honestly, just screw it. If whatever happens, worst case scenario, you're back where you are, but at least you tried. If you want something bad enough, make the time for it. And if you really want it, you will adjust your life to accommodate the changes you need to make for this goal. Maybe this is not coming home to sit on the couch and watch your favorite sport at night every single week, and you got to give up 2 or 3 nights of the week to go to the gym. At first, it's going to kind of suck, but it's what you need to do and you need to sacrifice in order to better yourself. And again, you will thank yourself for this down the road, I promise. To finish off, a quote I heard recently was, stop watching other people live their life and start to live yours. And honestly, I think if more people thought like that, there would be much less procrastination and much more self-improvement being done. Obviously, it's easier said than done, but the more that you watch other people living their life, the less that you actually are living yours. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you got some useful insight that might help you on your goals in the new year. Again, start that shit now. Don't wait. Life's not waiting for you, so you shouldn't wait for life to happen.